Hello and welcome to the Roasted and Barreled Review Season 6, our fall season. And I gotta say, we have a hell of a lineup here this season. I really like the bourbons. The coffees weren't bad either, but this is definitely, I'm just gonna say, the Summer of Scotch was more of an exploration. I wasn't so sure. With this, I'm pretty sure the lineup's good on the bourbon end. The coffee was surprisingly good too. I feel like I just repeat myself. So let's go into our topic of discussion before our reviews. The bourbon secondary market. If you can't tell, this is a coffee and whiskey podcast, and I feel like what I'm going to be doing is splitting up the discussions between half the year is going to be coffee, half the year is going to be whiskey. This is the whiskey part of the year. So for this discussion, we're going to talk about the bourbon secondary market or the whiskey secondary market, but it's mainly affecting bourbon. What I want to discuss is, hold on, let me adjust my mic here just a little bit. Okay, so what I want to discuss are the problems. The problems involving the whiskey secondary market are I can't find the bourbons that I used to be able to find easily. So like your Eagle Rares, but I found this one. Eagle Rares, Blanton's, to name a few. There's some other ones as well. I can't buy the bourbons that I used to be able to buy for the prices. And what does this mean for whiskey? First, not being able to find bourbons that you used to so easily. You know, if you like something, chances are 10 other people are going to like it too. What I'm seeing today, especially out of generations of guys and girls in their 30s, is that there's definitely a pattern going on here. If you're a parent of somebody that's in their 30s, or if you are in your 30s, you should be able to know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'll go into a little bit of depth. You remember Nintendo 64. You remember Beanie Babies and Pokemon cards and Pogs. All these have like frenzied collector elements to them. And I feel bourbon whiskey is no different. You're definitely seeing, and I think social media is playing a little bit too, but you could look at a BTAC and just think of it as a holographic Charizard. You could look at a Little Book No and see it as a Nintendo Wii. You could look at a Willett Family Estate and see it as you could see it as an insert whatever rare thing here. You know what I'm talking about. It's like as the consumer culture evolves and as social media becomes look at what I got, even if like what's happening is there's stuff that's not even good out there that's gaining popularity and hard to find. But if there's something good out there, somebody's going to go look at what I got, and then everybody's instantly going to pretend like they know something and go, well, I got to get that too. And that's how your bourbon and stuff basically just disappears off shelves. So now we go to our next problem. Why can't I buy bourbon for the prices that I used to buy for? And to that, I gotta say, if I make something that I think I can get $80 for, and then I see somebody add no value to it and get $450 for it, why shouldn't I raise my prices? How long can this last? Or if I were a distiller, how long can this last? And why shouldn't I get in while the getting's good? This is an argument that should be made from the people who are already in the game. It may sound classist, but if you're a distillery that made it through Prohibition or is around for at least 50 years, you can make this. Now, if you're new to the market, I don't think you've really earned your keep. Where do you get off just showing up here and charging 80 to $100 for a brand that I've never even heard of? I really think to be able to make that work, you need to go charge less and give less. Let's see the little minis go for $20 or $30. And then I'll be willing to take a hit on you, because at the end of the day, I'm still not losing 80 to $100 on a whiskey that I couldn't care less about. I don't have to worry about a full bottle of bourbon going, how am I going to get rid of this stuff? But if you're coming in with a fifth of a brand that nobody's heard of, with a story that's probably fake, and you're wanting $100 or more for it, get out of here. So lastly, what does this mean for whiskey going forward? I say get ready for exploration, and that can be a good thing, as the stuffs like Eagle Rares, the Blantons, Bookers, Willett Family Estate, those are just some of my favorites. I know Whistle Pig's got some rare stuff out there. God, I can't think of the name. The Orphan Barrels are pretty good. I've heard good things about Old Pogue. As those disappear off the shelves, you get to experience new stuff, and we are experiencing new stuff. I really don't get any flack that the non-distilling producers are getting. I think that you're definitely seeing people doing the best with what they have and putting out some good stuff. And what I'm talking about is the Whistle Pigs, is the High West, is the Smokin' Wagons. Those three brands in particular, is the Barrel Bourbons. Those three brands in particular are picking up a lot of steam, and they have some decent product there. But you're just going to have to get on the move. Do I think it's going to last forever? No. I think somebody's eventually going to get tired of it. Somebody's eventually just not going to be able to afford it, and they're going to go with what they have, and they're going to develop a love and attachment to what they can get. So if you wait it out, are you going to be able to get this stuff? I wouldn't say that you would be able to buy the dip. I think you just got to go in for the long haul, and just as you remembered this stuff where it was to where it is now, just be hopeful that eventually it's going to return to something real. Maybe not what it was before, because remember, I don't think we're going to see 5-cent Cokes anymore, but I do think we'll see $25 to $30 good bottles bourbon. Even with all that's going on, I think that, like, whatever that is worth now, $25 to $30, I think in the future that's going to be what the value point in the consumer price index of what you can get good bourbon for there. Now for the review. First I have Duck Rabbit. I really like the smell. There was hints of cinnamon in it. Upon taste, it is smooth and continues to bring out cinnamon, a little bit of pecan, some pie crust there. I love this coffee. You could smell it, and like the bag just reeked of deliciousness. It was really good. The taste is in alignment with the smell. Definitely buy. This is possibly going to be the best coffee of the season. I'm not sure how I'm going to work that out, but I'm just going to say this is possibly the best of the season. Eagle Rare. Now, Eagle Rare has been a favorite of mine for some time, and it's just been so readily available for me. I'm talking about 2008. It was just so readily available for me that I kind of took it for granted. And that's why I covered this bourbon secondary market, because Eagle Rare, up to about July 2020, was still easy to find on the shelves here in Kentucky. I really don't get it, and I wanted to classify it as an average bourbon, but upon sipping this was delicious. Very sweet on the nose. I got some strawberry and cherry scents. It was delicious. Very sweet. Given the current state of things, I may be hiding a bottle from other people just so I can enjoy this by myself. Now, bourbon's for sharing, but with this one, definitely keep that in the bunker. Now for the pairing, I'm getting a slight caramel flavor, a bit like Dr. Pepper. I gotta say bye. Definitely, this was a great start for the season 6. I really enjoyed it. I think you're gonna enjoy the rest of this season. I have tips on the Bourbon Trail, review of the Bourbon Festival, and advice to how to approach your first bourbon social group. But that's to look forward to later. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Roasted and Barreled Review.